Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I promise to update daily, and I would really appreciate the gesture. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Do you love movements? Do you hate scratches? Have I got a watch for you? This is the Zenith Defy El Primero 21 black ceramic, all of black ceramic of clasp, bezel, case, and bracelet. It's a 44mm feather light all-purpose sports watch with an extraordinary double movement, that is 2 movements in one case. The timepiece is 44mm in diameter, but it's not a big bully, fairly slim considering what's going on inside the case. At 14.4mm thick, I find this watch is actually low enough to fit underneath most shirt cuffs. Lug to lug, it's reasonably constrained at 50.4mm. The timepiece could probably be worn on a wrist as small as, I would say, 14.5 centimeters circumference. And again, because of the lightness of ceramic, eyes closed, it feels more like a 41 or a 42mm steel watch. The timepiece is robustly constructed, and I should mention that the clasp itself is probably the only metallic primary component of the watch, as the entirety of the bracelet, primary and intermediate links, all of black ceramic exceptionally hard. For practical purposes, it's about as hard to scratch as sapphire. So if you're one who hates swirls and scratches and scuffs, this is an excellent option. You'll also appreciate the fact that Zenith is not without art. The material is hard, but it's hardly without embellishment. As you can see, it features a polished bevel that runs perfectly aligned down the flanks of the lugs and even continues from the case flank of the watch. So you have both satin and polish, and you can see that Zenith sweated the details, actually polished the bevels of the intermediate links inside the bracelet so that they glisten as the bracelet articulates. Appreciate the fact that the clasp is a double fold, so it won't pinch a small wrist, and it's trigger actuated, so it's not friction fit and there's no cheap clamshell here. Zenith, with this watch, using only premium components and premium mechanisms. The case itself is inspired by the late 1960s A384 and A385. If you look those up, you'll see exactly where this shape comes from. Some folks uncharitably have said tag and hublot. Nothing could be farther from the truth. This case is dyed-in-the-wool Zenith. The dial, however, clearly does borrow liberally from its family members inside the LVMH empire. Appreciate the fact that there is also double finish on case and bezel, combination of satin and polish, extended chronograph pushers for easy grip, and the timepiece with a deep dial that betrays all. Let's break down what you're seeing. Outboard, there's a Ray Hawk featuring 100 individual hashes. That's for the Foudroyant flying second. It is a 1/100th of a second chronograph, and it has a calibrated outer ring to match. You have a 30-minute dial at 3 o'clock, and you have a 60-second dial at 6 o'clock. There is no hours register, but I rarely need that when I use a chronograph, and I don't think you'll miss it. Appreciate that all of the hour indices are polished, loomed, just barely, and cantilevered out over the dial so they hang suspended over the center. There is a panoply of finishes and textures and tones and layers here, and once you move below the dial features, you can see 2 escapements and 2 balances. The one at the top operates at 360,000 vibrations per hour. It powers the chronograph mechanism, and the chronograph is manually wound by turning in a clockwise direction. That is the only way to wind the chronograph, and as you can see, there is a chronograph power reserve at 12 o'clock. Now if you wind counterclockwise, you wind the other mainspring barrel for the civil time, or the timekeeping. That is a traditional El Primero 36,000 vibrations per hour. That has a 50-hour power reserve. It also features, and you can just see the iridescent purple and blue components, a full unlubricated silicone escapement for long-wearing durability. If you're wondering, yes, the mechanism can operate independently on both sides. You can stop the watch, stop the time, hack the seconds, and the chronograph continues to operate. You can also wind the chronograph and operate it when the mainspring for the time has run down completely. So they are truly separate components operating independently in one case. On the case back, this is now a unidirectional winding mechanism in comparison to the previous El Primeros, which were bidirectional wind. Also, this watch with a hacking seconds function for the civil time is the first El Primero that does feature a stop seconds functionality. 53 joules, this is caliber 9004. It incorporates a little bit of Tag Heuer tech from the old caliber 360. That's where the Foudroyant comes from, but it's also a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, so its time telling function with the El Primero escapement is very precise. All of this is 100 meters water resistant, so there is a lot going on. A watch jam-packed with features, and again, beautiful to see and likely beautiful to last because of the scratch resistance of ceramic. It's also an excellent option if you have a nickel or a latex allergy, and many case and strap options are off limits for you. You can see this extraordinary two-timer and make it yours on the watch box. Zenith Defy El Primero 21 black ceramic. Yeah, this one's designed to make a scene by day. See it by day on the watch box.